I just want to say that life is suffering. It really is. That isn't cynicism. That isn't depression. That's just the fact of the matter. That's how it's always been. That's why it's been preached for 2,000 plus years. The only beauty is that you get to choose your suffering, and if you embrace it, it has value. It has real value. Think of the times think of your first, time being in love, that autopilot, that blindness, really, as opposed to your first heartbreak, or losing a job, being in a tough spot financially, losing a loved one, being homeless for a period. Things that really are stressful for you, put you through the ringer mentally. You're constantly present and evaluating things, and it's valuable if you can use suffering properly. And a lot of times in the moment it sucks, but then we can look back at those times and appreciate them. I sure hope so. But being lazy and causing yourself suffering, as opposed to just choosing things that seem difficult but then in the long term have rewards. I knew a guy who his sink and all his counters behind the sink were always covered with dirty dishes. Every dish in his house, every pot, every pan, every fork was always dirty. And when he needed to cook something or wanted to microwave or whatever, he'd clean the dish, use it, and then put it back in the dirty pile. He's doing the same amount of work as everyone else, but he's just got it backwards. He's cleaning and then dirtying instead of dirtying and then cleaning. But he also has fucking mice getting into his food. He's got roaches, So anytime he wants to bring a girl over to the house, like, oh, hold up, I gotta clean dishes for like an hour and a half. Stupid shit like that. So many people shoot themselves in the foot because they're fucking lazy and they're not honest with themselves about it. And it's become so popular in culture that nobody's gonna hold you accountable. You'll be fucking lucky if you find some friends that can call you out. Hey, what happened? Last week you said you were going to start working out, you were really gung-ho about it, you bought some supplements, you went to the gym, and now I notice like you haven't been in 3 days, What's up with that? Everybody's too nice. And accountability, nice isn't a virtue. Nice is not a virtue. How many times have I told people this? Hey, be nice. No. You can spoil yourself very easily. Or just by denying yourself certain things and keeping things simple, you can choose happiness just by not being a fucking idiot. And really, you should be happy. If you're not trying to chase other people, if you're not envious of what other people have, recognize that you live better than pretty much all the kings of England that ever lived. They didn't have air conditioning. They didn't have fucking the transportation that you have, the instant knowledge through the internet. There's so many things, the medical advances that we benefit from. You have it good. Realize that poor isn't an amount of money. It's an amount of money relative to others. If everyone in America had $100 billion and lived like kings, and you had $100 million and you lived like a prince, you would be poor. So if you learn to accept that too, and appreciate what you have, balance that with slave morality, where you lie to yourself and settle about what you're happy with. Think of this. Every respected man who has been admired, who has accomplished things, is respected and admired so because of his ability to endure suffering. Because he did things that that you couldn't. Otherwise, it'd be average. Everything that is desirable is because of its exclusivity, because of it being rare or difficult to obtain. Happiness is the same way. Happiness and suffering go hand in hand. They say for a tree to reach heaven, its roots must touch hell. Nietzsche talked about happiness and unhappiness being twin sisters, that based on your actions and thoughts would grow up together or they'd stay children together. Your ability to endure suffering and to choose suffering and embrace it, and your capacity for happiness aren't separate things. Why can somebody seem so happy and be depressed and suicidal? Geez, I fucking wonder. Because where is their happiness coming from? How many people lie to themselves about having a great time, you know? Oh man, like, check out their Snap story about, oh, going out drinking, doing all this cool shit, you know, hanging out. And then talk to them in the morning about, man, I spent too much money. I can't believe I bought everybody 2 rounds of drinks when I already knew I was broke, and now I'm $180 in the hole, and I'm hungover. Now I'm late to work, and this and this. Time is gonna pass, no matter what. Think of 6 months. Think of what you could accomplish in 6 months. And now realize that time's gonna pass whether you put in work or not.